Hello. I just want to spend a few minutes just talking through, I suppose, the coaching triads that I've invited you to be part of. And first of all, let's just reiterate the purpose. One of them is to strengthen and stretch and solidify your coaching skills, and to do this through gaining insight from three unique perspectives. It's an opportunity to experiment, so to learn through doing, through trying things out, and it's an opportunity for you to gain some clear feedback or some observational feedback about your practice and your approach. So the three perspectives that you will be, I suppose, hearing from or getting these insights from are yourself when you're coaching. So what was it like for you as the coach? What was going on for you internally? What were you feeling? What were you thinking? What bits do you think you did well? What bits maybe did you get stuck on? What bits did you do that you thought really helped the person you were coaching? So there's like a whole load of insights that you can get. And then the person being coached, that they'll have their experience of being coached, and that may be really different than your experience as the coach. So, for example, you might be saying, "Well, I felt really uncomfortable at that bit. There was a long silence." The person being coached said that was really helpful. I really enjoyed that, or found that silence helpful. It enabled me to think a little bit deeper. So it's really important that you get those different perspectives about what is the experiences like for me as the coach and what is it for me as the person being coached. And the observer will have they will have a unique view, helicopter view, where they see both people. They see the impact of one's conversation or interaction on another. So they're able to see that in a different way. So you've got these three different lenses, if you like, that we will be looking at it through. Now, I'd like you to try and create a bit of a rhythm around these triads. So the first thing is to agree times and the venue or the platform, and invite me or whoever the tutor is to attend. Okay. Now, if the tutor can't attend, you can record the session and send to the tutor via wetransfer.com. So when you've agreed the time and the venue, then you meet and you'll decide on what time allocation you've got. So I would suggest that you spend 30 minutes per session. Now that includes having a coaching conversation and then doing a review. Now it may be that you want to do all three sessions in one go, so you'll have like an hour and a half, or it might be that you do, an hour and then a half, or whatever combination you want. But I would encourage you to have a 30-minute slot for a person to coach and then to partake in a review. So when you meet together, you're going to agree the times that you've got. It may be that your 30 minutes is going to be a bit of a stretch. So you might have to say, look, we're going to do a 10-minute conversation with a 10-minute review. But just to be really clear, agree on your time. And then the coach and the person being coached set up the coaching space. Now, what I mean by that is if you're face-to-face, you may want to make sure you're comfortable, set up the distance of the chairs right. You don't want it to be too formal, but you want to create some sort of deliberateness around it. It may be that you just need to talk through, if you're using online, about interruptions, potential interruptions, and just checking that your volumes are okay and you can hear. So there's a little bit of setting up. And the observer, I would suggest, if it's face-to-face, you move back a little bit so you're out of direct line of sight from people. And if you are online, just mute your camera and mute your sound so you can just observe from outside of that space and write some notes while you're doing that. So when you begin, the coach sets some time boundaries. So we've got 10 minutes today, and begins the session, and then coaching session will happen. And the coach is responsible for timekeeping. So that's almost like the first bit of your rhythm. It's actually you're having this session, you're setting up, and then you're doing the session. Then the next bit is about the review, and this is about curiosity and wondering. This is where a lot of learning can happen. And it's important to remember the review is about the coach, not the content of the session, what the person being coached brought. It's really easy to get into a little bit of a dialogue going, oh yeah, it was interesting. This is what they brought and I would have done this and I thought that. No, stay out of that. Try and sort of put up a clean cut. The review is about the coach. And the viewing process, I'd like you to start with the person who was coaching, just to talk through their experience. Again, as I said earlier, this is what I found easy, this is what I found hard, this is where I got stuck, wasn't sure what question to do there, really felt like this was going on, I wasn't sure what to do with that. And then, after a few minutes of that, you followed by the person being coached. And they can just talk through their experience of it. It may be the same as the coach, it may be different. So you can have a conversation around that. And then finally, the observer who has made some notes as well for the coach to take away, just maybe affirms what they've heard. Yeah, I saw that as well. Or, oh, that's interesting. I didn't see that. I saw this. Or, yeah, I was wondering about this bit. And I think it's really interesting from the observer's point of view to experiment with this curiosity and wondering. So you might give some deliberate and very clear feedback on, or that question seemed to have this impact, or that response seemed to have this impact. And then you might start by saying, I'm wondering what would happen if you did this, or if you had done this. So you're trying to explore some possibilities of where you might try and do some things differently. Now, one way of managing this review process is for the observer to facilitate that process. So they make sure that it starts with the coach, then it's followed by the person being coached, and then finally them. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an insight into how these triads will work. And again, just remember, when you've set them up, invite me in if you can, and you can set up a screen and I can watch and do it live, or you can send me a recording. So have fun, and I look forward to seeing you in your coaching triad soon. Thank you.